G'day guys, welcome back to Reach Me or Teach Me. Did my GOAT list the other day, and on that video was Jerry Rice, name I have heard before and heard referenced with greatness every time I've heard his name. Don't know anything about the man, have never seen any of his actions, so let's get into it.
NFC Championship game that we played against the Bears.
Montana back to throw it.
197, rear touchdown.
To right.
That's 3 away from 200.
Caught by Jerry Rice.
He gets away. It's a foot race. They won't touch him. It's touchdown.
Some shoulder fake.
Was there a moment, Joe, for you or an epiphany? Maybe it was at a practice when you turned to Bill Walsh and go, this guy's unguardable. You can't cover him.
Any discussion of all-time best NFL players?
Montana is also on my list to react to. From what I understand, he's like the original GOAT of the quarterback position.
Has to include Joe Montana and Jerry Rice.
But the youngster is having a big night. Rice, 8 receptions, 169 yards, as you can see. But look at that average.
So what makes a great wide receiver? I never thought I had natural talent. I never thought I was the most gifted
When
athlete.
Jerry Rice comes into the league, Mississippi Valley State.
As a senior, Rice scored 28 touchdowns.
Well, the funny thing about Jerry is that he had deceptive speed. I mean, he wasn't probably the fastest guy in the NFL ever, but he got behind more guys than I've ever seen.
Just about perfectly so far.
Look at that throw.
This is just a flat-out sprint. They said when he came into the league that he wasn't that fast. Well, maybe not from a standing start, but most football.
So that's what they said in the GOAT video, that like he wasn't the fastest, he wasn't the strongest, he just had this incredible IQ and just new angles and just had such an incredibly cerebral way of getting open and getting to his spot, from what I've understood, from what I've heard about him so far.
Play start on the
Career
run.
statistics, it's not even close. Career receptions, yards, touchdowns, not even close.
Rice will score his 52nd touchdown. 68 yards.
Oh, I've got to check out Joe Montana.
Montana, Rice.
Or is it about doing the work on all the little things, the route running, the footwork, the body control?
No flags are down. Touchdown.
Montana gets it to Rice.
But most people believe the greatest wide receiver in NFL history and perhaps the best player is Jerry Rice. And Jerry Rice was determined, was driven, was habit-based.
Breaking a tackle is Rice. He's going to go all the way.
He's so deceptive, and I don't know how he did it year after year after year, but he could get behind almost anybody.
Jerry Rice is still the best wide receiver that ever played in this game.
Timeout, Young throws.
It is interesting, your personality, you are the perfect superstar that you weren't showing.
Touchdown. 150th of his career.
The thing that I was going to do, I was going to outwork you.
Montana having trouble. Rice.
I mean, when you watched him in practice, you knew he was something special.
It must have been so nice for Montana to have someone like that. Like in that instance there, he just was like waiting. Not yet, no, can't do it yet, can't do it yet. He's just waiting for. He knew that if he gave Rice enough time, he'd find an opening.
Holy cow, what a catch. Francisco 49ers going for their 3rd Super Bowl win in this decade.
He was one of those guys that he actually created a different work ethic on the team.
The GOAT, as many people refer to.
Grab!
Can you consciously dial up your best when it matters most?
Another thing that is really serious for you defensively, Montana has had all kinds of time to throw the football.
I think Jerry Rice is clearly the greatest receiver of all time.
He throws deep. Rice out of bounds at the 11-yard line.
I tell you what, they must have been a fairly dominant little duo to have like the OG GOAT quarterback with the GOAT wide receiver. That must have been a nightmare for
I think
opposition.
anyone can cover Jerry Rice man-to-man.
He got that one off just as he was kissed.
As we're sitting here talking about him, I get chills of knowing how great he was.
Still on his feet. Finally dragged down at the 46-yard line.
Jerry Rice is one of those once-in-a-lifetime experiences.
Both wide receivers to the left, Taylor and Rice. The throw is to Rice.
Man,
Touchdown.
those two just seem so in sync with each other. It's just beautiful.
13 all the score 11 minutes ago. Montana going for the big bomb to Rice.
Whoa, let's go!
When I started coaching him in Oakland, we nicknamed him the GOAT, the greatest of all time.
What a catch by Rice! Unbelievable again. Look at the totals they're racking up. And it is good. Cincinnati leads again 16-13.
During that last 3 minutes, 10 seconds, where we had to move the ball over 80 yards downfield and win that football game.
2 minutes to go. San Francisco needs 3. Edwards, the veteran from Miami of Florida. On first down, Montana.
He's gone right, he's gone left.
Yard mark today.
Second 20. Holy shit. And now he's gone down the middle. Oh, he's off.
What a day for Rice. Rice has just set a Super Bowl record with 12 catches. He's in motion.
Wow.
Montana.
Oh.
Touchdown, John Taylor. The game is over. San Francisco has won Super Bowl 23. Jerry Rice.
That's a stupid thing to say, but he looks like a really nice guy too. Like he just looks like he doesn't look like an egotistical idiot. He just looks like a nice guy.
The hero for the 49ers.
Nobody brings it home like Joe. It's nobody.
Cool.
Make it so.
I don't know that fully captured his greatness, so let me just quickly have a look at what else came up. And let's throw Jerry Rice, top one of the game players. NFL. Yeah, alright, let's go. Hopefully this doesn't get blocked.
I was a big fan, to be honest with you. I was a coaching intern. I just followed him around and watched him. He had a magic about him. He was Flash 80 because that's what he had on his license plate. But when I started coaching him in Oakland, we nicknamed him the GOAT, the greatest of all time. So we've got a lot of great nicknames for Jerry Rice. I pronounce it Jerry Rice. 5 capital R's, I-C-E. This is a bad dude right here. He's the most dominant player at his position that I've ever seen. This guy had a 154-mile-an-hour fastball. You could not cover him.
He wants the end zone. Rice has got it. Touchdown 49ers.
He could beat double coverage. You could put man-to-man with help over the top. However you want to try to defend him, he can beat any coverage. He can take a short pass to the house. Probably the greatest receiver after the catch.
He's got Rice. He breaks loose. He's going to be gone. I don't think they can catch him. A play that seems to work out.
So, that's it. He hasn't got this ridiculous big step or juke or anything. I just reckon he's got an incredible mind for the game. The ability to spot the angles and just take advantage of what he sees. That's the cerebral stuff. That's incredible.
Every time they did one.
Wait.
I would prefer to catch a 5-yard slant and go 95 yards any day. It's almost like the hair is like standing up on your back because you know everybody's chasing you. If you're able to cross that goal line without getting caught, it's a
angles
great
and momentum. That's what it is. Using the other players' momentum against them.
We used to have a board where we measured yards after
angles.
the catch. Used to put up Irving Fryer, Michael Irvin, Jerry Rice. I don't know how many yards this guy made throughout his career after the catch, but it was a lot because I charted it for 3 years.
Momentum. Use the bigger boys' momentum.
He did it for 2 decades. And if you look at his statistics, where he is and where the number 2 and 3 and 4 guy are, it's amazing what he accomplished.
Oh my! Down the sidelines, one of his greatest catches.
He's a work of art.
Jerry Rice is king of the mountain. 22,895 receiving yards.
Man.
1,549 receptions. 208 touchdowns, the most in history. No one else comes close. Rice dominated the record books, yet his true mastery was of preparation, mind, body, and soul.
We sent some guys with him to work out a couple times. They'd come back, and that man is crazy. That guy's crazy. He's running up and down hills. You cannot imagine this guy's stamina. His best football was played in a 2-minute drill late in games. Most of the time, guys get a little bit tired. Not this guy.
Yeah.
With the game in the balance, 16 to...
That is something that separates the absolute elite, is the ability to play the entirety of the minutes that they're on. And that fatigue factor is legit. That's what I was talking about in the State of Origin stuff, where our guys play for the full 80 minutes. That a lot of them do anyway. And in that 70 to 80 minute mark, it's like a different ball game to what you've watched for the previous 70 minutes, because now you've got tired legs, and those few players that are fitter than the rest, that's when they start running circles around them.
13, the Bengals lead. Montana back to throw. Throws over the middle.
When the games got bigger and the situation...
So, I mean, this is as much a testament of Montana as it is Rice here. Like, that throw was so perfect because he's running at full speed.
13, the Bengals lead. Montana back to
and he doesn't break stride at all.
throws over the middle.
Whack, full speed. No, like that's...
When the games got bigger and the situations got tighter, Jerry Rice played his best football.
Rice's 8 touchdown catches in the Super Bowl are the most all time. He won 3 and was MVP in 1. He's a champion, a Hall of Famer, and the #1 player on the top 100.
What's funny is when I meet and talk to young receivers.
I'm assuming this is an older video now, but they put him at the #1 player of all time. I'm guessing it's prior to Brady, because my understanding is that Brady is pretty much universally considered the greatest of all time now.
Receivers, and I make cut-up reels to show a route, an in route, an out route, a post, a slant. They all love to see Jerry Rice. They all know who the GOAT was. They all know who Jerry Rice was. The greatest of all time.
What are we watching now? No, okay. I don't know if those were the 2 best videos. Like, I think those videos are great for me because they give me a lot of context as to the sort of story and the history, the background, it's not just highlight plays, because like anyone who plays long enough in any sport is going to have a good mixtape of highlights. But if there's a better video that perhaps demonstrates his skills, because I didn't really see a lot of what he was doing. He was just, by the time the camera got to him, he was receiving the pass and then off he'd go. But I'm really fascinated to see his route running and his approach to that. What I could pick up on then was, again, he wasn't blisteringly quick or incredibly athletic, etc. It's not that he wasn't quick or athletic. He just wasn't the quickest or the most athletic. But he used the skills and the weapons that he had and combined that with one of the greatest minds for, again, angles, momentum, and created scenarios for Montana to be able to capitalize on. But I don't think those videos really showed why he's the GOAT, if that makes sense. So if you've got a better video that you think shows a little bit more about why Jerry Rice was Jerry Rice, I'd love to see that. I'm fascinated in the cerebral aspect, and he looks like he might have been one of them. Joe Montana's definitely got to get done too. His passing and his touchdown throws, and they were beautiful, beautiful throws. And the synchronization and coordination that those two had together, that must have been, for both of those players, just something very special. For someone like Montana to have a receiver like Rice and someone like Rice to have a passer like Montana, that must have been a really, really deadly duo. Anyway, guys, if you haven't already done so, please hit that subscribe button, and we will see you in the next one.